Transport is one of the world's biggest carbon problems, and infrastructure decisions lock those emissions in for decades. But most corridor planning tools still ignore half the story. They count the route, they may estimate cost, they may even look at materials. What they miss is the carbon created during construction itself. 34% of the global CO2 emissions are from construction itself, out of which concrete contributes to 2.5 billion tons of CO2 in a year, and the demand is only increasing. CarbonLens fixes that by comparing both material carbon and during build emissions, so cities can choose corridors that are not only feasible but cleaner to build and less disruptive to the community. CarbonLens is a decision tool for lower carbon transit infrastructure. It helps cities compare corridor alternatives based not only on the route geometry, but on the total corridor impact. It includes material carbon, construction phase carbon, duration, disruption, buildability, and community benefit. CarbonLens starts on the map. Current modules include the city of Phoenix. A planner can draw multiple corridor alternatives in Phoenix and see the existing routes for a public transport such as the Valley Metro and compare options in the same workspace. CarbonLens pulls in live public data and planning context, then analyzes each corridor with a deterministic engineering logic instead of a black box AI guesses. Once the corridors are drawn, the backend breaks them into segments, enrich those segments with public context, and computes material carbon, during build carbon, total carbon, maintenance risk, and community benefits. The point is not just to show which line is the shortest, the point is to show which line is cleaner, faster to build, and less disruptive in reality. Total carbon is not only embodied material carbon. CarbonLens compares both material carbon and during build emissions. That include the carbon consequence of longer construction duration, heavier traffic disruption, detours, and equipment activity. FHWA's work zone guidance makes it clear that work zone reduces roadway capacity, creates congestion and travel delays, and generates measurable road user impacts such as vehicle hours of delay and extra fuel use. CarbonLens brings that neglected part of carbon story into the corridor planning. This logic is grounded in real Phoenix project. The builders of CarbonLens were involved as the main researchers behind this project. In 2020, fiber-reinforced concrete was used to replace traditional reinforcement in the Valley Metro track slab system. The innovative approach of fiber-reinforced concrete reduced the construction time in half, and the estimated cost dropped from 17.5 million per mile to 5.3 million per mile. ASU's Structural and Material Lab demonstrated that structural viability beyond the required 45-year service life. So CarbonLens is not just a route sketcher and not just a carbon calculator. It's a low-carbon infrastructure decision tool. It helps cities compare corridor alternatives based on both the structure they chose and the emissions that construction will create.